That has now climbed to $5.64.
Yeah, those are up there. But here's how a gas tax holiday would impact the average American. It would pause 18.3 cents per gallon charge for regular fuel, suspend the 24.3 cents per gallon charge for diesel. Now, the downside, however, is that a 1-month pause would then deplete funding for the Highway Trust Fund to the tune of almost $3 billion. Let's bring in senior advisor at the Heritage Foundation, Alan Mendenhall. Alan, thanks so much for being with us here. You know, this gas tax, I think, Americans are clamoring for any help they can get at the pump. But when you actually do the math, the amount of money that individuals would save at the pump after that gas tax, it just comes down to pennies, correct? Is that really worth it?
Well, I think it's worth it. It's a step in the right direction. So Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution gives Congress the power to tax. So the president can't do this alone. He needs Congress to act here. And you're correct that it's 18.4 cents per gallon that we're talking about for gas and 24.4 cents for diesel. So these numbers would bring us down. I don't know, you're going to make me do math on air, but let's just say it's $4.30 a gallon that it would bring prices down to. Well, that's still substantially higher than the just over $4 that we were averaging throughout the month of April. And we were under $3 in February before the Iran conflict. So these prices are still very high. We still need to open the Strait of Hormuz and end the conflict before we really see gas and liquefied natural gas and just energy prices in general come back down.
Also with us, economist and former Naval Intelligence Officer John Jordan. John, always a pleasure. Good to see you back on American Agenda. So let's talk about how quickly these prices might fall once the conflict is over in the Strait of Hormuz. I think it's a given now that we all know that while this is happening, prices are going to be high, and we're going to have to live with that. How quickly can they fall? Today, the president said that would be like a rock once it's over.
Yeah, oil prices will come down dramatically. It will take some time for traffic throughout the Straits of Hormuz to fully normalize. So it is going to be, a few weeks to maybe a month or so after the strait opens for Americans to really feel that at the pump. But let's talk about the politics of this for a second. First of all, gas prices and energy prices are not uniform throughout the United States. Individual states have done more and less to make it better or worse. California, for example, shut down 2 of its refineries, 1/5 of its refining total in the last 6 months. California's having to get energy from the Gulf Coast. So you're starting to see energy prices in New Jersey, New York, and Illinois are substantially higher, too. So you're starting to see the pain unevenly distributed throughout the United States. Gas tax reduction will help, but it's like my co-panelist said, there's not going to be dispositive. The strait has to open. It's going to be a little while. But remember, the Democrats were celebrating $5 to $6 a gallon gas if it was helping Ukraine. For the Democrats, high energy prices are a feature, not a bug, because they were trying to kill the energy industry and kill American energy independence on the altar of the Green New Deal. Huge difference between then and now. This is temporary, not permanent.
Yeah, Alan, what else do you think needs to be done, if anything, to maybe help Americans? I mean, it's not that long. I can't believe it, until Memorial Day. A lot of Americans going on vacation, whether it's road trips or otherwise. And this could be a very expensive summer travel vacation season, particularly before the midterms, which could be dangerous potentially for President Trump.
Well, one really exciting thing is that UAE left OPEC as of the beginning of this month, and it was producing between 3 and 3.5 million barrels a day, and that was because it was constrained by quotas. But once the conflict's over and the straits open and UAE can pump 5 million barrels a day, that's going to be great for the economy writ large, and not just in the United States, but everywhere. And I'd love to see more OPEC countries consider leaving OPEC.
Let's talk more about that, John, the overall impacts that this has had across the world. President Trump today was talking that more and more boats, they're coming to Texas. They're going to Alaska to seek out fuel there. Is this maybe down the line? I know gas price is still pretty high, and that's tough for people right now. But maybe is this some kind of a win down the line for our energy production?
Yeah, in 2 ways, Bob. First of all, you're starting to see massive energy exports from the United States, narrowing our trade deficit. Enormous amounts of foreign money are pouring pouring into the United States as a result of this. Doesn't take away the pain at the pump, but it does bring an additional separate economic benefit. With Alan was talking about UAE is absolutely right. There's the concept in energy called spare capacity. When a country is pumping all they can produce and they can't turn the tap on anymore, they're said to not have any more spare capacity. Inside of OPEC, and one of the reasons the big reason why the UAE left was because among all the OPEC members, they had the most spare capacity in terms that they could actually grow their production above what the quota said it was. So they were